Welcome back, my friends. It is Saturday, June 29th, 2019, 10:17 p.m. And what you are watching right now is this enormous storm cell that blanketed over North Dakota, Minnesota, and then in turn caused two confirmed tornadoes in South Dakota, all within a 6-hour period. That includes a tornado warning that we had issued in New York, which I had shown on the intro of this video. Now just check out this massive storm that is now dipping down. It's going to start counterclockwise spinning over the Great Lakes, and then just as that's going on, we're starting to see our new set of moisture just as it crosses the Rocky Mountains, hitting that warm, moist air, and then blowing up into its own storms. Florida has been getting its share of weather today, and so has the border of Texas and Louisiana. Now, with that said, we expected this. We could check these charts on a daily basis. Categorical, these were all the areas of watch over the U.S. today with rain. The darker the color, the heavier the rain may be. And then when we get into these slots here, you go to tornado mode. We had a 10% chance in North Dakota today. When we talk about 10% chance, that's when you want to keep your eyes open. And like I said, even though they happen in South Dakota, they happen fairly quickly and within a short period of time. And then shortly after was the tornado warning in New York. Now, if I go back to tornado, it's still under that warning, and it now is extending into Minnesota, as you saw that system rolling over towards the Great Lakes. And then when we go to the wind situation, that is a whole another deal on its own. It's very windy along the northeast right now because of the weather heading that way. And then 30% right here makes perfect sense for the hail, the wind, and the capability of producing tornadoes in that area. Now, if we look at radarscope.com right now, we can see a lot of our severe weather blocks that were up in New York have since dissipated. This is right around where the tornado threat was, right in this area here. It has since expired. It came across Kingston. I do not know if it was a touchdown or not, but we still do have one severe area to watch, and that would be cell Z7. So we're going to keep an eye on that as that dips down back into the Atlantic Ocean. We have a couple severe situations in West Virginia and just underneath Baltimore. We got Virginia Beach in there. Basically, the Chesapeake Bay is going to be a talk of the town for a couple days. And then once again, we could check out this South Dakota one, but I want to go over a few things very quickly before we do that. Now, check out this heat index and severe thunderstorm warning. Remember, the yellow is tornado warnings, guys. This is South Dakota, North Dakota, and then right in the middle there, match the color. And what we have right now is it could be excessive heat. Actually, that's probably, yeah, that's excessive heat warning, because if you surround it with the orange, you go heat advisory. So now any moisture, as you can see here, as it crosses the Rockies, as we showed in this chart right here, I'll move forward a little bit, and you can see right here, let me get back there again, sorry about that. You can see right here, just as that green we saw on this chart, everything passes this area, it starts to blow up into storms because of the atmospheric conditions. Again, the El Nino should be letting up now, so it's going to be a little chaotic in the United States for the coming days. Now, check out these temperatures on the temperature chart, guys. We could be going into day 14 now, where we are over 100 degrees in the southeast, and it's just a matter of time before we are talking about more fires down in this area. And you see this strip of heat that comes up right through the middle of the United States. That is due to a Gulf flow that is coming straight up and then mixing with a, oh boy, what am I losing here? What am I losing here? The Baja region, there we go. The Baja region moving up, and the flow from the Gulf moving up, and a little bit of help with the jet stream. We're looking at 102 temperatures in areas like Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, all sorts of areas like that. And the heat is just going to get worse, and it's muggy heat too. It's not the type you want to be dealing with on a constant basis. Now, before I let you go, I want to take a look at these hurricane situations right now. Right now, we have 90% chance of Barbara forming any second now, basically. So we could be talking about this early tomorrow morning or the next video. But bottom line is this storm is going to happen, and more than likely the storm after it will happen. And we can look at that by checking this out here. You can see here over the next 5 days, 30% chance of cyclone formation. That would be Pacific Hurricane Cosme, C-O-S-M-E. This one right here would be Hurricane Barbara, B-A-R-B-R-A. So, in my opinion, this will certainly become a hurricane. And now, once we get to Tropical Tidbits to take a look at this, we could see why we think that. It may be a short-lived one, and it may not. It all depends on how far it wants to go towards Hawaii. So, once we enter July 2nd, which is about 4 days from now, you see this thing really take shape, and right around there is when we got to start focusing on it. 981 pressure as millibar, that's pretty low. And at the same time, we could see that 30% chance we just looked at. Right. Oh boy, where are we? Here we go. Right here. 30% chance right here. This is going to shortly follow this one. So we'll get back to this chart here. And we'll continue forward. So, as you can see, here is the first one. This would be Barbara. And then back here would be Cosme. And then if we can move any farther, we'll be able to see even Delilah forming if it stays true like that. So, we have 3 pretty significant storms to keep an eye out on. Yes, the numbers do drop a little bit. You can see this rises a bit as the pressure pulls up. This is cooler water up here. If this were to stay down in this area, there would be a much better chance of it heading towards Hawaii. Of course, we don't want that, but it has happened. We saw it last year. And more than likely, we'll see it again this year. So just as this exits frame, we get up to 1004, which is a good thing. It shows a little bit of weakness. And then here comes Cosme, C-O-S-M-E. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This one seems to want to take a northern hook fairly quickly and then die off. Some other charts show it heading a little bit more towards the west before it does that northern hook. But anytime we get a hurricane that comes up towards this Baja, we've seen them go right in here, right in this bay area here. But what we don't want is them to come out this way and then hook into Southern California, because whether they're tropical or not, they will cause beach erosion damage, and then add to the fact that it's a very unstable environment to begin with. So with that said, we're going to take a look at the Atlantic side of things, and still we're on a pretty similar track right now, guys. This high pressure in the Bermuda Atlantic right now is keeping all the weather coming off the west coast of Africa down very low, pressed low, down into the South Caribbean. Excuse me. Whoa, excuse me again. And as this weather wants to move up into the Gulf, it is forced down by this high pressure, which is why it is crossing over this thin part of Central America and then in turn causing hurricanes on this side. But that pressure will soon let up, and we will start seeing storms moving up into this area. If not, these storms will start moving above this area. Once this high pressure releases and moves up a little bit, we're going to start seeing these things accumulate and form in this area by the Leeward Islands and Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and Haiti, and those common areas we usually talk about during hurricane season. So, with that said, as of right now, current storms, we have remnants of Alvin. We talked about that over the last couple weeks. We have 04W4. That is on the west coast of the Pacific Ocean. We'll get into that as it forms. And here is Invest 94E, which would be Barbara, more than likely looking like Barbara. And when you take a look at these spaghetti plots, it is tracking in a northern direction. We want it to stay that way because you can see up here 1008 millibars is good. The lower it stays, we'd be in the 998s, and then it could be 980s, 970s, 960s. You never know. That's why we follow these things on a daily basis, guys. So I believe that's what I have for you for now. But like I said, in the last 6 hours alone, South Dakota, 2 confirmed tornadoes moving southeast at 5 miles an hour. So it's fairly slow. And these were both seen by, one was seen by a storm watcher, one was seen by a law enforcement official. So, and in New York, we had Jefferson Lewis, New York, and then Grant, North Dakota is the most recent one, which has already expired. We can get back to North Dakota right now and just check out this area if you would like to. Where is North Dakota here? Is it even on the map anymore? It is not. It has disappeared just as I was looking for it. So there you go. So looks like North Dakota, you're out of the loop for right now. There still is potential for some severe weather in upstate New York, moving down towards Massachusetts, Connecticut, Long Island, you name it. This could happen all overnight, and you could see these straight line winds are coming straight down towards that area. So, all right, guys, with that said, that is the update for now. If I don't have anything breaking by the end of tonight, I will certainly be talking to you tomorrow. Thank you all for the support, and we will talk very soon. See ya.